Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to make flutter jigs. Got a couple up here. I got a 2 ounce and a 3 ounce, and I'm going to show you how to make them for $1 a piece. Normally you can buy them for $5 to $7 depending where, but basically if you make 100 of these you'll be paying $1 a piece, and then after that first 100 they're going to drop down to 30 cents a piece, and if you make your own wire forms you can actually get it down to 10 cents a piece. The first thing you want to do is get a supply of lead. I get lead from a scrap dealer down here, so if you just go on Google Maps and look up scrap metals, I paid $10 for 15 pounds of lead, and that's pretty cheap right now. There's a big supply of it. 6 months ago I was paying 75 cents. If you want to have shiny jigs though, I'd recommend buying tin, which is a lot more expensive. I'm not sure what the prices are because I don't use it. So the biggest cost you're going to have is buying the Do It mold. I've got one here. I paid 50 bucks for this, but you can get them for $60 on the Do It website. You can see it's got the 2 molds in there. You just pour the lead in from the top on either side. But like I was saying, once you've made your first 100, the mold has paid for itself and you're just paying for materials after that. So the other component you're going to need for these are these wire forms. So you've got the FL200, which is the 2 ounce, and the FL300, which goes for the 3 ounce jig. These fit into the mold and provide the eyelets to connect to your line and a fishing hook. You can put nails into a 4x4 like this and wrap some wire around it. But I didn't find it was worth my time. It took too long to do each one, and maybe you could do better if you were watching TV or something, but that's just not for me. I prefer to buy the wire forms. It just goes much quicker because they fit in there perfectly and you don't have to mess around. So a little safety note before we start, make sure you got your safety goggles. You probably want a respirator, long sleeves, gloves, pants. Try and do it outside if you can. If not, get a fan. I'm gonna be doing it in my garage with a fan going, so I'll probably not have a lot of sound. So with that, you're gonna need a propane burner. Make sure you have the little stands down there so it doesn't tip over. You don't want a whole bunch of lead tipping over on you. You also want a pot. I've got this ladle. It's well used, but this is to scoop off all the impurities off the top of the lead once you melt it. And then I got this little I can't remember what these are called, but it's just got a little, I think it's 5 ounces and it's got a little spout there. They go for about $5. So also I'm working on cardboard, and if you've never worked with lead, you might be like, oh, that's gonna go on fire. Don't worry about that, it's all good. It won't catch on fire. It starts smoking, but it doesn't get hot enough to actually light the cardboard. Another thing I forgot is pliers. Definitely want pliers because you don't want to be handling these hot. Some people use water. I don't like using water because it's going to start spraying all over the place, and it's just throw it on the cardboard. It's going to be fine. So here's the lead I'm going to be using. So this much should make me about 90 jigs. So for painting them, you can go fancy and you can get the powder coat and all that, but it doesn't really matter to me. I think it's kind of stupid. It's like you spend all that money to get it nice looking, and then you're gonna lose these after sometimes even the first cast. So to save money, I get this rustoleum copper. They've got it in all colors, but it's paint and primer in one. And I mean, it looks just like what you want it to look like. Lingcod and the bottom fish, rockfish and such, they really like this color. And I just usually do one coat, but that usually lasts until I lose the jig. But yeah. The heck? Usually I just do one coat, but you can give it multiple coats and a clear coat if you really like. But so I just do one side and flip them over. Some guys hang them and stuff. It's like, man, not worth the effort. Just flipping them takes a second. So I'll leave that for like an hour, and then I'll come back and do a second side. So here we are. Here's the finished product. I don't know if the color will come out true, but it is a copper color. So here's the hooks that I use. I use these open eye. Gamakatsu open eye. You can see they've got an open eye there. So you can just put these on really easy. I'll try to do it with one hand here. So there you go. So one thing I don't have right now, which I'd really like to get and I highly recommend, is a Lee production pot. It's a little pot that you pour the lead in after you've got all the impurities out, and then there's a little spout under the bottom that lets you pour the lead directly into the molds. This is a lot safer than what I was doing there, but it does cost $100 for the pot. So it will be something I get in the future, but I just didn't have the money for it right now. So yeah, hope this helps, and stay tuned because I'm gonna take them out on my next trip for some rockfish and lingcod out in CQ or Nia Bay, wherever I end up. But that's coming up next time. Till then.